Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing a VOD review. This is actually for Aris. Once again, we got another Aris VOD in Goal 4. It is a win and they play Mercy. Things they want to work on is I could definitely consider my positioning and my game decisions. I sometimes find myself in a bad situation, which I could have easily avoided. I'm also struggling with my binds, even though it's been 4 months on PC, and I'm still accidentally pressing another key or messing up my movement. I also think it could be better off if I swap off. Overall, I just need help. Save me, Ali. Alright, Aris, first of all, obviously, you know, if you've only been playing on PC for like 4 months or so, especially if you're still not used to the keyboard and mouse, you will definitely still be struggling with it. So I would not be too fussed about struggling with your Mercy movement for now. But I think we definitely still look at how we position and how we decision make as that stuff that we can, you know, it doesn't really impact how we, you know, how well we can move as Mercy. But yeah, so I guess we'll just get kind of straight into the VOD, but don't forget, if you guys want your own VOD views, they have 7,500 channel points. I do them on my Twitch on Sundays, but also stream it on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. The VODs are completely for free. All you have to do is essentially just turn up to the streams, you know, earn the channel points, and then you can redeem a VOD. This one, you might see is a little bit janky compared to the other VODs. This is because this is a VOD that I'm doing afterwards. There were some issues where I couldn't stream on the Sunday, but Aris really wanted this VOD before the patch reset, so I'm currently doing it about an hour before the patch resets. So please forgive me if I rush through a few little bits or the quality is not as good as some of the other VODs, like, you know, recently. I'm currently recording this on another Xbox that doesn't have my capture card present. But yeah, so I guess we'll get into it. We are using Sigrun. You guys know my opinions on Sigrun, and I feel like Aris has done this purposefully, which they would have. But I also do like the little Australian little what's called tag as well. You know, always appreciate supporting your hometowns. But yeah, so I guess we'll just get straight into it. We have a really good comp here for Mercy. We obviously have our Sojourn, we have Winston, we have Cass, and unfortunately, oh there, we've got Anna. Unfortunately, with the way that I'm positioned, I can't really see the rest of the team too well, but I'm glad it's an Anna because we can kind of like see it's an Anna really, really well. Yes, guys, we'll just get straight into it. First of all, nice damage from your Sojourn here. Nice kills into Anna. Loving all this crouch spamming right now as well, which is really, really great. You see so many people just want to jump up and down. Love how you're crouch spamming instead. Really, really nice. Nice heals on Soj here. As you're doing this, just make sure that we're still looking at our cast. What we want to do here is, instead of just having your beam just on the Sojourn here, you kind of want to balance the beams between the two of these guys. Now, obviously, Sojourn is like peeking along, taking a lot of damage, but at the same time as well, we can definitely maybe go and help our cast out here, maybe get some angles on him. But right now, our LOS is just on these guys, and we just kind of alter it, so we're looking at both DPS here. But we've got no issues so far. It's been really, really great. Nice. So Cass is antied. Cass will not really want to peek anything while he's antied. He's gonna like struggle. So we want to try to like push main here with our Sojourn. Nice heals up afterwards. I would heal up afterwards, so after the Sojourn has gone through. What you want to do here is essentially you just leave the Cass, because Cass is antied. Cass is just gonna play safe for a sec, and then he'll come out when he needs to. Whereas your Sojourn is going to slide in, and she'll want to, you know, maybe hit a railgun shot. If you could damage boost that railgun shot, you might actually be able to get a pick, and that really opens up this team fight for you guys, because obviously there's still 5 of them, you know, remaining. So if you can, just to put that beam onto that Sojourn while she's being aggressive like that, and then go to heal the cast. Just a little bit of like beam prioritization there, basically. Nice damage boost here. Obviously they have Widows, so you guys just want to play safe. Nice juggle of the beams. I would make that GA into this room. The reason is because you know you've wiped out this room now, and we can also hear the D.Va, which, you know, is about, you see, like, she's just about to fly. She's going to fly onto you in a second. So if you can, try to think to yourself, okay, the point's not really, like, we're not too worried about the point right now. You know, we don't really want to cap it, because we want to try and get, you know, people picked off, like for example this Anna, and then we can maybe go out and like res the Winston, but we also want to, you know, be careful of the D.Va right now. So in reality, I essentially want you to play for your life right now. Use a GA bunny hop or just something in order to get into this room. Like force the D.Va to come onto you or come onto one of your DPS. It's better if she comes onto one of your DPS, because obviously it's easier for you to heal the DPS rather than it be on you, because then Anna has to like peel back for you and everything. So if you can, peel back to back here. Either make the D.Va come to you, in which case you could just do like a little beam, what's it called? A little wall bounce. That's the name of the tech. To obviously get away, because she'll have your beamer to the Sojourn still, and then you can head around here, forcing the D.Va through, or she'll just go to the Sojourn, in which case you just stand there with your pretty beamer, be like, haha. But we'll keep going. Nice. Oh good, we don't desperately need to res there, and I'm glad we didn't. The reasoning is because I don't feel like they can get back quick enough, especially because, you know, we end up staggering quite a few. So honestly, I don't mind that you didn't res the Winston here, especially because he comes back quick, and we could definitely save our res on the just in case they have a recontest. We'll keep going. So we know they're there. We don't want to peek these guys, because if this is with Kiri, bam, 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 on your head's off, okay? We still want to be cautious of these openings, like basically all 4 of these openings as we're capping. Now, what is the max people that we can have on point for it to cap the quickest? It's 3. You can have 1 where it'll cap like quite slowly, 2 caps it a little bit quicker, and then 3 is the max you can cap it. If you have 4 or 5 people, it does the exact same as 3. Now, as Mercy, you should very, very rarely be on the point. You should be trying to, you know, enable your DPS from the sidelines. This is the best and safest way that you can survive. So, where is the best spot that we can play, you know, to get out of LOS of this door, from this window, from this door, and this door? We can either play up here, which is a nice like little like piece of high ground, and we can like jiggle peek like this. We could play down and in here if you want to, and jiggle peek like this. Or this one's a little bit more risky, but it does block off all these LOSs really nicely. We could play on these stairs. Just obviously if we play on these stairs, we just have to be careful of people dropping down from this high ground when they come back in. But we just need to kind of like make sure that we're playing in some piece of cover here rather than just being stood out in the open. I just damage boost the Soj here. You guys don't actually, you know, end up capping it or anything, which is okay. Nice. So we decided to commit the Cass here, that's fine. The Kiriko has killed your Sojourn. Okay. That's fine. Just stay with your Cass here. You're completely fine staying with your Cass here and enabling your Cass. Remember as well, on this point, the payload will not move. Opposite, sorry. The payload will move by itself all the way to here. So all the way from when it is first released from that spawn door, all the way to here, it moves by itself. It will not be influenced by how many people it has on it or anything, because that influence only starts when it reaches here, in which case then it'll start like, you know, like multiplying how many people are on it. So right now, you just want to take this advantage. You want to just play aggressive with your cast, enable him here. You know, allow your cast to obviously like peek forward. If your cast gets a pick, this is perfect because they don't have a Mercy to res it or anything. You know, that's once again another free pick, allows you guys to make more space with the payload and everything. So if you can, don't peel back right now because you don't need to. Obviously the Sojourn dies, is what it is. Remember, spawn is right there as well. We're not going to make any cart progress. You might as well just let her once again respawn normally and just enable your cast right now because I feel like we kind of abandoned the cast. We go to res, which is fine, but just remember spawn is right next door, so we don't need to. And I'd rather you enabled your cast a little bit here. Nice. Unfortunately with obviously the GA and everything, that must be you just getting used to the controls, which is fine. Ooh, okay. I feel like we got a bit lost here. Let's back this up. So, we're trying to go to cast. Love how you don't just decide just to walk through, because I see a lot of messages just like, I'm gonna walk through, you know, and trying to get to it, and it, you know, you're walking in front of like your whole team. So I love how you back off here. This is perfect. Now we tried to go to, obviously I love how you get the beam onto the cast in order to top him up a little bit before we go to Sojourn. Obviously we still get used to movement, which is completely fine. Okay, at this point we should be ult tracking and thinking to ourselves, okay, who's got an ult that's coming up? We know Sojourn has her ult coming up. Now obviously we know Cass is weak, but remember Cass is super safe right now. If we look to see where the enemy team is, they are still really like, you know, pushed back basically because they're still missing their diva, which means, you know, without a tank, they're going to be playing really far back because they can't take space because they don't have that tank. So, I want you to kind of think to yourself, ult track and think, okay, who do I need to enable now in order to get, you know, in order to win this next team fight out? And that would be your Sojourn ult. So what I want you to do here is I would like you to stay with the Sojourn while we go in. I feel like we kind of miss it. And then we valked because we missed it. Now, if we valked with the Sojourn ult and pushed up with like your cast and everything and had your beams on for the entire time, I feel like we could definitely maybe eliminate someone here. It's just unfortunate. But I respect the timing of the valk and I respect what you want to do with the valk 100%. But I feel like it was kind of a little bit poorly played. But we keep going. Nice damage boost here. What you can do as well, this is a little bit of an extra tip. Play this valk on the point, because it allows you to get more of cart progress. Because right now, obviously, you're in Valk, you have these really long beams, and I love how you're playing, do not get me wrong, like, your positioning with this Valk is quite good. Obviously, we could maybe amend it a little bit more by playing a little bit further back, but to be honest, there's not too much that can attack you right now, due to how much your team is pushed up and how much they're backed off. So, we can make this Valk a little bit better by just peeling back onto the point slightly. Allow that point to have 2 people on it instead of just the one. Push it a little bit quicker because it will once again it'll put a lot more pressure onto this enemy team that have already backed off. Keep going. Nice. I won't get the Glock out here, just what's called, just stay low and try and damage boost your team. We'll like make sure they get out. Which we do at the end of our Valk, which is very, very nice. Nice. Play with Sojourn here. Right now, your Sojourn is playing off to the side because she's looking for a pick or like is waiting for the D.Va to come and dive her basically in order to provide a distraction, or she'll be wanting to try and get a pick off while the Winston is going to jump in a second once all this like toy ball's gone. You also have your Ana that's here in main, which means she can help the cast and she can help the Winston. So right now, your job is to enable the Sojourn on the flank. Allow the Sojourn to, you know, get some good railgun shots off, like really like kind of make the D.Va panic and think, do I DM main? Do I DM the side? Do I go and dive the Sojourn on the side, basically? You just want to kind of really, you know, you want to help the Sojourn on the flank, basically, in order to, you know, mess with this D.Va's head, basically. But also, pressure. But we'll keep going. I'm going to see what you do in a second. Obviously, we heal cast, which is good. Nice. I still stay with Sojourn here. Nice. I love how you're constantly looking at your team, though. Really, really great. This is perfect. This is how I want you to play earlier. This is great. Nice. Obviously, we can't really reach Winston right now. Nice. Okay. So instead of trying to force yourself to get to the Winston, okay, remember that Winston's going to use his jump in a second, and then you can obviously go up to go and help your Winston. Now, this is a kind of a different scenario because obviously your Winston has primal. If you see a Winston going in weak and you know he has his primal, leave him be. Because he will pop that primal and that's basically his lifeline, so you don't need to risk your life in order to go and get him. However, if he didn't have primal, did you see how he kind of like jumped up from here and jumped up here? That's the point where you want to connect your beam and just do a quick little directional GA, do a quick 180 back to, you know, where your Sojourn is or like to whatever cover that you wish to use. But that would have been perfect in order to get the beam up instead of you just kind of, because you end up kind of using your Sojourn, which is good initiative, do not get me wrong. But at the same time, we know that Winston's been stood around here for a while. He's going to have his jump again. Wait for him to use that jump and then go and attach your beam onto him. But we keep going. Nice. Nice damage boost here because obviously Sojourn doesn't have LOS. Nice positioning. My other thing with your positioning here is obviously just be careful of the people main. If you can, try to make your positioning either on like one side or like all the way over here. In this case, you want it to be all the way over here, just purely so, for example, this Torb doesn't end up shooting you. Obviously, he's being attacked by, you know, the Winston right now, so it's all good. Fortunate. Nice. Your Winston unfortunately walks into it. At this point, this is a reset. Or is it? Where is your cast throughout this entire thing? Because in all honesty, with the way that he was, I just thought he'd gone. Oh, he's here. Okay. That's why I was like, oh, just reset it because I thought it was just you and Ana. Where is your cast? Your cast is in the back line trying to get this Torb. Okay. Okay. No, actually, I take back what I said. I'm sorry about that. I feel like, yeah, you should have maybe committed with the cast here and then waited for a res. I just didn't realize the cast was still alive and just casually in the back line, you know, as you do. So as Winston dies, at this point, don't go for a res. The reasoning is because D.Va is just gonna obviously, like how she did, just completely just dive on you. Instead, stay alive. Maybe use a GA in order to get forward because you know your cast is still alive. So use a GA to come forward and damage boost your cast from up here. And then you can force the D.Va to come and dive you if you want, or come and dive your, what's called, your cast. At that point, obviously, Ana has Nano in order to try and help keep the cast up, which we can then go and res on Winston. I like the decision to go res your Winston here because I feel like you definitely need the tank. I know Sojourn's nearly got her ult, but at the same time, I feel like the Winston and the tank pressure is definitely what you guys need right now and not the Sojourn ult, especially because if you res Sojourn and, you know, we're not able to demech the D.Va and Sojourn goes for all, it's all just going to get DM'd. Whereas if you go for Winston, I feel like we could definitely apply a lot more pressure and then probably stall it until our Sojourn gets back and then she can use the visor because we would have had enough damage onto the D.Va. So yeah, so I'm going to be you. So after this, I'm going to GA over here. I'm gonna play up here with my cast like this. Damage boost him for a bit. He'll get nanoed in a second. Hopefully, obviously, instead of the D.Va diving onto you, she'll dive onto either like one of us two. At this point, then I'd go for this res behind here. Now you end up kind of making it good of like a bad scenario. So unfortunately, the D.Va ends up still diving you. Yeah, I would have definitely committed forward with your cast a little bit more. But to be honest, if you didn't know the cast was still alive, I would also completely, what's it called, agree with you. Because I also did not know the cast was still alive. Because he was just, you know, in the back line, as you do. Anyways, obviously we played with Sojourn again here. Winston's already gone in really, really aggressively, which, you know, do not worry about too much. I would have made that, so instead of this a GA, what's it called? A GA, and then you kind of like just stood out in this corridor like you are, taking damage. Make this a GA bunny hop, because the Sojourn was like here, wasn't she? Do a GA bunny hop, and you end up in this room, and you can pocket the Sojourn really, really nicely. And also, oh look, and good, help the Winston that's just come out this really weak. Obviously, Anna's here as well to help heal him up, but we could definitely start the top up, and then obviously let Anna finish it off, and then we can go back in together. I feel like we kind of like just GA here for no real purpose. It's kind of like GA, and then you're kind of like, oh, I'm taking so much damage. GA, bunny hop, play over here. We keep going. It would definitely help us not take that gigantic chunk of damage. Make that sling up to the high ground here, just so once again we're not slinging into the enemy team. We've got Valve, which I respect, obviously we're up one and we want to try and keep our Winston up. Nice. Love how you're pushing forward with the damage boost on the Winston. Really, really well fought. Nice. Love this. Love how you're pushing up with your Winston. Really, really nice. So obviously you used all. It's fine, just back out there because he's got the turret up. He's going to be shooting at you. D.Va's also going to be shooting you because they know where you are. Just back off here. Try and avoid the turtle while you do so. But over than that, like, really well played Valk. I love that Valk. Nice. Oh, I love this. I would see so many Mercies right now just being still on this payload with the Sojourn. I love how you have that initiative to go and look for the staggers, and you go up and you go damage boost your Tracer and your Winston. This is really good decision making, Aris. I love this. Carry on with this. This is really, really great. Obviously, we know Winston's still there. I would stay with them because the Winston's still there. We don't need to like push like really, really up with them. Do not get me wrong, but we still can, you know, we can still GA from like this area because we can drop down and GA here. Especially because what's gonna happen is this Reaper's gonna, you know, be like trying to fight. He might get out, sure, but we could definitely still try to earn some ult charge for our Tracer around Winston. Can you see how close they are to their rolls? So what I would do is keep pushing up with them. Keep pushing up. I won't push up any further than probably this wall here, just purely because obviously of like the respawners and everything. So I definitely like kind of just push up to here, damage boost your Tracer or your Winston, and then once the cart kind of gets, because obviously what's gonna happen is while you're doing this, the cart is gonna push forward. Oh, look, I can GA back to my cart once like the team fight starts to get a little bit more messy. Some of that though really, really great so far. So that's fine. Love how we meet the Winston at the back. Nice. Nice piece of the Tracer as well. Lovely switch to that. Was your Sojourn AFK? I'm hoping your Sojourn was AFK. Nice res. That res needs to be instantaneous. The reason why you need to be instantaneous is because when you sleep a tank, the tanks don't sleep as long as the DPS anymore. The reasoning is because of a nerf that they did for Honor a couple seasons ago. So tanks only sleep for like 3 seconds, I think it is. And actual like a normal DPS is like a little bit more. It might be different numbers though. But essentially, you know, the tanks will sleep for less. So as soon as you see a tank being slept, bear in mind, like that tank sleeping as well is the perfect opportunity for you to go that res. All you have to do is just walk up to it or do like a small J like you did. Go straight to it. Make sure you look as well that you've got an escape target. For example, you could use your Ana or you can use your Winston, which just dove onto the D.Va. Really, really nice res though. I respect the res. Ooh, very, very risky for going to where the Reaper was, but it's fine. Works out, which is all good. Obviously, we back off, which is fine because we need to regen and everything. Top of the Tracer. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Love how you as well, you're still going for this like chase and follow up and your damage boost from whoever's going. Really, really nice. Okay, for this last bit, I'm hoping you're going to position yourself up onto here. This is a really, really good spot in order to position yourself as Mercy, so I'm hoping you're going to go up there in a second. I don't like you being up here because people coming from the spawn. You can actually do the exact same thing as what you're doing on this side of the point. So I'd rather you did that over here compared to over there. Just because, obviously, once again, Overwatch is a territory game where it's like you don't want to give up that space, you don't want to give up that territory. Right now, this is kind of the enemy territory, and it's very, very easy for them to push out to you. Compared to this, where I'd say this is more your territory, as you're all the way over here, and you're playing very, what's it called, out of the way, and you have to basically make the enemy team push into your territory, which is horrendous, basically. So if you can, try just, what's it called, play up on here instead, because it will really force your, you know, either the Divas to dive on you, the Reapers to TP onto you, or something like that in order to try and get to you. We'll keep going. Obviously, you guys ended up getting in, really, really great. Overall, the Reese, really, really, like, well played so far, okay? My first kind of really good thing that I really like about your gameplay is how much you're following up on these kills. Like, you're following up on, the obviously picking up staggers and everything like that. Really, really great, okay? I think your main thing, especially, it was more so at the beginning, is making sure that your damage boost whoever's doing the damage. It got a lot better towards the end, especially when you were, like, helping people that were, what's it called? They were obviously chasing the stagger kills. But at the start of team fights, I want you to kind of look to see who is doing the most damage and position there. Next thing, obviously, with positioning. Your positioning is okay, do not get me wrong, but we could definitely make the positioning better by trying to think where's the safest place we can be. Obviously, look to see where the enemy team are, look to see how we can play, and kind of work around that, basically. Reses were okay as well. I don't really have any issues with your res, so obviously do it a little bit quicker. And Valks were really, really good as well. So we keep on going. We have switched teams, so we have a Doomfist now and a what's it called? A Junkrat as well. Obviously, we still have the Sojourn, which is really, really great. What I would do here is I'd damage boost the Junkrat spam at the beginning. Oh, we have a Kiri as well instead of the Honor. So I damage boost the Junkrat spam at the beginning and then go straight to Sojourn when we get the chance. So damage boost the Junkrat spam. The reason why I say damage boost the Junkrat spam is because they're going to be coming through this little choke area, which if the Diva doesn't DM it, can like provide a lot of damage early on. It could even get you a pick early on, basically. Now we have got Farah, so we're going to definitely have to play with our Sojourn a little bit more. Nice rotation to the high ground, because obviously we don't want to be in the little room, because that will not be handy for us. Nice. Don't rush to get your Kiriko. Your Kiriko is Zuzu'd and backed off. So if you want to try and help your Kiriko, just stay where you are and just pop your beam onto her. There's no need to kind of like back around to try and get to her here. That's obviously heals onto Doom. You've left it for Kiri, which is completely the right idea, because obviously your Sojourn's still really, really pushed up. Really, really nice. Nice heals onto Doom. If you can, make your GAs up onto this high ground. I feel like we're kind of like doing our GAs and then you kind of like just back it off really, really far and everything. Use your GAs with a purpose in order to get some better positioning, which will be on this high ground, for example. Because then it means we can still stay in beam range of these people like the Sojourn. We'll keep going. Let's see what you do for this. We can definitely res that. Nice. Nice res pull in the cover. Unfortunately, your Junkrat ends up dying to that, but it's all good. Kiri ends up falling as well. But you're doing the absolute right thing here. Nice heals. Fortunate the Farah just free tapped the Sojourn. Obviously, remember there's going to be people coming back. Very, very nice. Love how you realize that. I would make that more of a sling. This is going to be complete opposite to what I've just told you. I would make this a sling out because you know that they're going to start pushing in quite aggressively. At this point, you don't really want to take the damage because they're going to be chasing you. So back out, allow the Junkrat to provide you like some spam damage and some cover, and then we can go in to go and help Doom if we need to in a second. Nice, good healing here. We've got Vault. Make sure we damage boost the Doom as he goes in if we can. Nice. If he doesn't peek you, all good. We just back out. We Vault. Oh. slug, but respect, not gonna lie. Nice damage boost here. Don't position here because this is where the enemy team are gonna be. If you want to position yourself like kind of, you can just kind of play beside this wall like here, because if you play up here, right, who's gonna be able to shoot you? Mercy can't shoot you because Mercy's not gonna bother getting a pistol out because she's too busy healing the D.Va. D.Va's gonna struggle to get you here because what's it called? Because she'll have to like dive onto you and get up close to you, so she's gonna struggle. We've got Farah, who is too busy trying to go around on a flank for a barrage in a second, but she's obviously going to be once again up in the air, which we just obviously have to just be careful of and just listen out for. And the Torbs in the spawn. So we can just, we can kind of like just vibe up here, and then once the Valk ends, we can definitely peel back to play up on these high grounds or something with our Sojourn. I'm going to see what you end up doing. So there's a barrage, nice cover usage. Obviously, Bap ends up getting it, which is really nice. So does Doom like lands that, what's called lands that rotation? Just quickly put the damage boost onto him. Nice heals here. We don't need to GA in here because, as you can see, our Torb's now going to use his ult. If we don't need to GA, just stay where you are. Either do some like little bits of crouch spamming like you were earlier, but if we don't need to rotate, just stay where you are and just sit it out with the Sojourn. Like play like kind of here, so obviously we're not in the way of people that are going to peek him. Just play here, and then if the Sojourn does slide forward, then we can use our GA in order to catch up with him. That's fine. Nice heals onto Soj. So instead of using a sling there, we could have used a, what's it called, a GA up to the BAP. So we don't need to just GA to like our, just our beam target. We can actually use other people to GA to. So I'd use the BAP here to GA up onto the high ground, so then will start damage boosting the Widow or the BAP that's going to start getting a bit aggressive now. Fortunate for our Widow. I just rotate out now. We still have a chance to win this team fight because we ended up getting what's called the Torb, so the Torb's gone. And obviously this Farah is still very much alive, but the Mercy isn't playing with the Farah. This gives your Sojourn a really, really free kill here if we just rotate back here and damage boost the Farah. This means then that we can stabilize really, really easily because it's a 3v2 at that point because, what's called, the D.Va is absolutely nowhere to be seen. I'm going to guess that she's like respawning or is out of her mech. Yeah, she's out of her mech over there. So this just leaves the Mercy and the Zen, which you guys will win because you have your Sojourn, you have your BAP, and obviously who knows how to damage boost and everything. So instead of getting your pistol out here, GA across, maybe do like a little sling into this room, damage boost your Sojourn, and maybe your BAP as well if you need to. Get rid of this Farah, and then you'll get rid of this team. I'm gonna see what ends up happening with you though. So BAP ends up getting taken down. Do you see how we've let 2 people die here because we've tried to pistol the Zen when the Zen's being healed by the Mercy? When the Zen's being healed by the Mercy as well, we're not going to do any damage to him. So we want to try and focus on stabilizing the team fight, trying to get a pick. Nice ping. Obviously, they're going to start coming on to you now. Yeah, just back out now. Doom's wanted to contest, which is bold. Nice. Still look for your cast. Like, yes, they might be chasing you, but at the same time, I'd still look for my cast because my cast, looks like it needs a little bit of help right now. Fortunately, he ends up falling as well. So I don't know why your Doom went for a recontest there, but it's all good. We just reset, go again. All good. Nice. Nice. Nice balance of the beams there. We can rest that. We can rest that. Because you could see by how long it took for the bullet to arrive that that the Farah is really, really far back. D.Va, if she tries diving you, she's only going to reach like here. She's not actually going to reach the orb. Plus as well, I'm hoping your Doom is going to end up kind of blocking you here. We can get this res off really, really nicely. Go for it. I won't super jump it because when you super jump it, you're like out in the open like this. Just do it down here. Also, you risk obviously losing the res if you go for the super jump. So I just play the res down here. And make sure you got an escape route for after the res. Nice. Nice ping. Nice. I love your use of high grounds right now. This is really, really great. understand why we keep on J'ing up and down here, though. If we're safe on this high ground, if you're safe, stay in that space, okay? Right now, we're not being contested on this high ground. All we have to do is just literally sit on this high ground, keep checking this flank angle, just in case someone's coming up. And we could just vibe up here for now. We don't actually need to be, you know, keep on dropping like we are. If someone was contested this high ground, for example, then I would 100%, you know, respect the drop and everything. But right now, we're not being contested, and our Sojourn's not really moving anywhere for us to, you know, to move. So I just vibe up on this high ground here. Keep going. Nice. Follow it up with the Doom. Let's try to take the Sombra out as well. Nice follow-up. Your follow-ups are really, really good at Aris. Like, it looks like as soon as, like, it feels like as soon as, like, only a couple people left in the team fight, you really understand, like, who you need to be beaming and when and everything. Nice. We'll be your position right now. Obviously, just be careful of people coming back. Don't worry too much about your Doom here. Your Doom is really, really healthy. And what's going to happen is this Doom's just going to, like, what's called, get people out of position and just, like, try and punch people about for a bit. So what we can do is we can just damage boost the Sojourn. Because although the Doom is not going to do, like, the majority of the damage, your Sojourn will do the damage. And she will get rid of this Torb if we stay with, also, the what's called, he's really, really healthy. And if your BAP's a good BAP, which, by the way, your BAP seems really, really good, he can actually heal the Doom from where he is. I respect the damage boost though, but if we don't need to go in with him, you can leave him. We pop Val. Nice pit. Respect that pit because we know that she's weak, we know that she's hacked. Really, really nice. Really nice res as well. My only thing is throughout this entire thing, we've not really checked on our Doom. Just if we can try just do a quick flick onto him to make sure that he's okay. Other than that though, really, really great decision making so far. Love the peel back. Lovely focus damage boost as well. That is your best team fight yet, Aris. That was beautifully played. I loved everything you did throughout that entire thing. Really, really nice. Really, honestly, I'm so impressed. Really well played. Okay. If you feel like your Doom is going to die, just leave him to die. Because there's no point you trying to risk your life by slinging yourself forward like this. You can maybe do like a GA into him, like, and see. But then if you know it's not going to happen, then you can sling yourself back or anything. But yeah, we don't, what's it called? If you feel like Doom's going to die, just leave him. Watch your Sombra isn't falling as well. You just back off, which is the absolute correct thing to do right now. I rotate myself onto the high ground, which is exactly what we've done now, really nice. Oh, yeah, I can see what you mean by you're not used to what's called the movement and everything. I love how, you know, I love how you wanted to rotate up here. Let's say we did rotate up here, which is what you wanted to do. This is perfect, because obviously, you know, this is where, like, you should be, what's called, you should be playing. Obviously, we do end up missing it, end up in the Torb ultimate, which is really, really unfortunate. But I understand that you wanted, you know, to play up here, basically. Keep going. Remember, as well, we don't need to flick ourselves up to the BAP. We can just GA to the BAP. I want to check, Aris, make sure you have the setting on where it's, I believe my setting is prefer facing target. It means then that no matter who you've got your beam on, you can still GA to another person. It means then that we're only doing a GA, which is a 1.5 second, you know, cooldown, compared to like a little mini super jump here, which you did here, which will increase your GA cooldown to 2.5. So make that a slightly like more direct GA. Then if you're safe, stay in that space. Nice flick away, res instantaneously, very, very nice. Nice, very, very nice. Just unfortunate with your BAP, can't do anything there because obviously the divas ended up diving him. What I would do here is, unless if you're desperately getting out of beam range from the Sojourn, allow the diva to dive onto you. The reasoning is because when you play against a diva as Mercy, you want to try and play like a cat and mouse kind of game, where you want to try and bait out the boosters before you GA. The reasoning is because if you can base out the boosters before you GA, it means then the the diva will dive here and then she's like, oh no, the Mercy, and then she's stuck here. You've pulled her out of the team fight for like 4 seconds. Compared to if we just GA forward here, and then as you can see, the diva has got her boosters and she will just chase you down and just dive you, and then you'll be like scared, be like, ah, and then start running about like here, there, everywhere, like trying to survive. So if you can, try and just bait out the diva right now. Bait out the diva to come to here, and then you GA to the Sojourn. You see what I'm doing though? Bit of GAing ourselves obviously away. Let's get to cover. Nice. Do you see how we did it there? Where we allowed her to dive in and then we rotated? That's what we need to do the first time. Nice foul. Nice res. Love how you look like wonderful. The aim might need a little bit of a work there, Aris, but I respect it. I know that really, really well played. I think Aris, definitely you got a lot better as the game went on. 100%. I will say I could definitely see that you're still a little bit struggling with the keyboard and mouse. So I guess my first kind of piece of advice is just keep playing. Keep playing with your keyboard and mouse. Keep, what's it called? Learning the controls of it and stuff like that. Because I feel like you definitely know what you want to do. It's just your, obviously lack of knowledge with the keyboard and mouse ends up kind of messing you over sometimes. So if you can, first piece of advice is literally just to work on using the keyboard and mouse more. Get yourself more used to using it and just get yourself more used to just, playing the game on keyboard and mouse in general, because I feel it'll definitely help you. I will say, apart from at the start of team fights, your target priority is really, really great. Especially, it gets really, really good towards the end of team fights. I think that's because you know what your team will want to focus on. Now, what you're trying to apply that to the start of a team fight, and think to yourself, okay, who's going to be the most effective here? Who's going to get the most damage? And try if you can to put your beam on that one person. Or obviously go into a flank, like for example with your Sojourn on your attack on second point. Try if you can just to go with one person basically. Valks were really good. I do notice you get a little bit aggressive in your Valks with your pistol. I think definitely calm that down a tiny little bit, but I respect that. For example, the Farah pick, really respect that. That was a really well-timed pistol. So I feel like you definitely know when to time your pistol. It can be a little bit too trigger happy sometimes, but other than that, like your Valks are really, really great. I think my main key thing as well is just your positioning sometimes. I feel like we kind of position ourselves wrong and we don't really know like how, the best place to position. So just try to set it up a little bit and make sure that we're there. I remember as well, if we're safe, stay in that space, making sure that if we are safe, we're staying where we are as we don't need to rotate. Res is really good as well. I don't think I've got any issues with your reses. Over that though, Aris, honestly, a really, really well played VOD. I think just definitely work on playing with that keyboard and mouse some more and work a little bit more in your positioning and be really strict with where you want to play. But thank you so much for on YouTube as well as on Twitch that have been watching this. You guys can get your own VOD views. They have 7,500 channel points. I do more with Twitch on Sundays, but I'll stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. The VODs are completely for free. All you have to do is essentially just watch the streams. And 7,500 channel points, and you're more welcome to get a VOD from me. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!